In our last lecture, we saw an example of conservation of momentum. So let us take a quick review. And I also stated that conservation of momentum always happen whether or not the energy is conserved or not. It has nothing to do with the conservation of energy. Wherever there is a Newton's third law, that is equal action has um, reaction, like every action has equal and opposite reaction, there you have a conservation of momentum. In this case, what is the initial momentum? The initial momentum is only the mass into velocity of the ball, because the second object in the system, that is the plate, has zero momentum because there is no velocity. In the final case, the small ball drops down and the final velocity of the ball is zero, but now the plate gains velocity, and hence the momentum is mass of the plate into the capital V, means velocity gained by the plate. So from here we calculated what will be how to find the velocity of the big plate. So law of conservation of momentum actually helps us predict some of the values at hand. For example, by using conservation of momentum, we are able to predict if a ball moving with a known velocity v hits a plate, then what will be the velocity of the plate. That can be known by using the conservation of momentum. And then in the last class, we showed that conservation of momentum is always true whether or not energy is conserved or not. For example, in this case, we'll see that the energy is not conserved. So here, here, let us find the energy in this case. So energy, so what is the total energy? Here the energy is half into m into v square. Because the second object has no velocity, hence that energy is 0. So you'll get what? As we calculated half, so mass is 1 and velocity is 10. So there will be 100. So we found that initially the entire system had an energy of 50 joule. Okay. Then what happened? In this case, what is the energy of the ball? The energy of the ball is 0 because the ball falls down. And now to find the total energy, we need mass of the plate into velocity square of the plate. So what is mass of the plate? Mass of the plate is 2 kg and velocity is, from here we can calculate. So we have 1 into what is the velocity of the ball? That is 10 divided by 2. So it is 5 meter per second. Okay. So when you calculate this, you get half into 2 into 25. So you get 25 joule. Okay, you can do this calculation. So the amazing thing here is there is a loss of 25 joule of energy. Initially, the entire system had a joule of energy of 50 joule. Now it has now the system has an energy of 25 joule. So there is a loss of 25 joule energy, and that loss is seen as vibration in the plate or heat generated during collision. Okay, so where does the 25 joule loss energy go? This 25 joule of energy either goes to heat, so most of the time it goes to heat in a collision, or it can go to vibration that are generated in the plate. Okay, so you take a steel plate and you just hit it, you see the steel plate starts vibrating. So these two factors are responsible for the loss of energy. But law of conservation of momentum does not care whether there is a loss of energy, there is a gain of energy, whatever. It is always true. Now we can look at reverse. The reverse is all the systems, all the phenomenon which obey the law of conservation of energy is possible. Now we'll go reverse. Okay, so let me write it. Okay, so all the phenomenon that will conserve momentum is possible. So let us do some experiment. Okay, so consider now that you have two masses. Okay, so consider two masses of same value of mass. So this is mass m, and consider another block whose mass is also m. Okay, and consider this is a frictionless road. Okay, there is no friction at all on this road. Okay, now this block is moving this side with a velocity v, and this block is also moving this side with a velocity v. Agreed? So what is the initial momentum of this system? You see, the first block has a momentum mv, and the second block has a momentum mv. And the case is, if you want to find the total momentum, you need to add them. Agreed? Momentum of first plus momentum of second. But you see that the momentum of first is in opposite direction to the momentum of second, because the velocities are in opposite direction. So there should be a minus sign. So what is the total momentum? So the initial momentum for this system is 0. Okay. Okay. Now that the initial momentum is 0, now can you tell me what are the two other phenomenon or two consequences of this collision? Okay, actually this collision will have two consequences. Amazing thing is it will have two consequences. So let us see both of the consequences. So this is a mass m and this is a mass m. Okay, so they come towards each other with a velocity v. Okay, tell me one consequence where the momentum will be 0 finally. One such consequence is when the masses, they will stick together. Okay, so in that case the final momentum will be 0. So let me draw. So in one case of collision, two masses, this is a mass m, this is mass m, they will stick, together, and they will come to rest. They won't be moving. So if they don't move, then what is the velocity? Velocity is 0. So can you tell me what is the final momentum? So let me write p. So let me write, this is pi. This is total initial momentum of the system. So can you tell me what is the final momentum? The final momentum is 0. So this is possible. This is possible. Now we'll see one more case that is also possible. So you need to think about one more case that is possible after this collision. Okay, let me write that case as part 2. So what will be another consequence such that momentum is conserved? Okay, so imagine, so what is happening? You have two masses of same value of mass m and coming towards each other with the same velocity v. So now I'm asking, what is another consequence after the collision? So then they will collide. So step 1 is they move towards each other. Step 2, they will collide. Okay, so I have to remove this part. So they have moved towards each other and they have collided. Now here, if both the masses after collision goes in the opposite direction with velocity v, then also the momentum is conserved. Okay, let me make this diagram better. So now what happened after collision? Now both the masses, they are going to the other direction. Okay, with same velocity v. So let us see what is the final velocity here. So after collision, we said that both objects are going to the opposite direction. What is the momentum of object A? The momentum of object A is mv plus. What is the momentum of object B? The momentum of object B is also mv. But since both the velocities are in other direction, so there will be a minus sign. So what is again the final momentum? Final momentum is also 0. So we see that this particular case where two masses are approaching each other with same velocity has two consequences. One consequence is where they stick together. This type of collision can be a inelastic collision because there is a huge loss in kinetic energy. Okay, and the second consequence can be this, where the two objects, they move, they after collision they move away from each other with the same velocity. This is called as an elastic collision. Okay, so why this is called as an elastic collision? So can you tell me, let us calculate the energies. Okay. So what is the kinetic energy of initial? You see, in this case, the total kinetic energy is half m v square for the first one, and again half m v square for the second one. So what is the total kinetic energy? The total kinetic energy of these two objects was mv square. Now this is the first collision, and I mentioned that this is an inelastic collision. Let me tell you why. So can you tell me, if the two masses they got stick together, what is the kinetic energy here? The kinetic energy is zero because there is no motion at all. So here the kinetic energy is mv square, and here the kinetic energy is completely zero. Hence the entire energy is gone. Where it is gone? Maybe in terms of heat or something. Let us see what is the kinetic energy here. The first part will have energy half mv square. The second part is again having energy half mv square. So you see the kinetic energy is mv square. So everything is okay. It means in the second collision, the kinetic energy is saved. I mean, there is no loss in energy. This type of collision are called as elastic collision. So remember this terminology. This type of collision is called as elastic collision. Agreed? Where the not only momentum is conserved but also energy is conserved. And this type of collision where momentum is conserved but energy is not conserved are called as inelastic collision. Agreed? Okay. So these were some simple examples of momentum conservation. In the next lecture, we'll look at one concrete example of momentum conservation, and we'll talk about one-dimensional collision. Okay, so the one-dimensional collision is nothing but just an advanced version of what we have done here, just an advanced version of what you have done here, and it's very simple to do. So we'll talk about one-dimensional elastic collision. We'll use conservation of momentum and conservation of energy, and we'll predict the final velocity. See, so what is the main purpose here? The main purpose of using energy conservation and the momentum conservation is to predict what will happen after the collision. That's why we are studying physics. Physics is all about predicting what happens. Okay, so you make laws just to predict what will happen. So in this case, by using these two conservation laws, that is conservation of momentum and conservation of kinetic energy, we will predict what will be the velocities of two objects after collision if the initial values are known. Okay, so we'll do it in next lecture.